Grace be to you and peace from God our Creator, Redeemer, and life-giving Spirit. Amen. And war broke out in heaven. We're used to hearing about wars and violence on earth. Wars in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan continue to claim hundreds, if not thousands, of lives, almost on a daily basis. In this year alone, another war, the Mexican drug war, has claimed 8,000 people. And we still wreak unspeakable violence on one another because of terrorism or actions caused by people with mental illness or other kinds of aggressive behaviors. In the past week or so, terrorists attacked a mall in Nairobi, Kenya, and a mentally disturbed young man killed a dozen people and wounded many more at the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C. Sadly, we are used to wars on earth. But war breaking out in heaven, that's a different story altogether. And this is not just any war, this is a blockbuster war, complete with Michael and his angels, the great dragon, Satan and his angels, Satan being expelled from heaven. This is more like Star Wars than anything we're accustomed to here on earth. It's the classic battle between good and evil, surreal on the one hand and completely real on the other. And our text from Revelation is this biblical writer's way of helping us understand and make sense of this ongoing clash between good and evil. Now, some of you may never have celebrated the Feast of St. Michael and all angels. Anybody? Does this sound familiar to you? 3, 5, going on? Wow, the vicar. This, in our tradition, is what we call a lesser festival. It's not a major liturgical festival like Christmas or Easter or Pentecost. In fact, in our churches, we only celebrate St. Michael and all angels in those years on which its feast day, September 29th, falls on a Sunday. Well, maybe some churches, Vicar, would have a midweek service if it fell during the week, but most of our churches, if they celebrate St. Michael at all, only do it when it falls on a Sunday. In fact, today, I think most of my colleagues in the Synod are not preaching on St. Michael and all angels. They opted for the other text appointed for today. But I chose to preach on this text in part because this is the vicar's favorite Sunday, but also because our liturgy, our hymns, we talk about angels all the time. Every Sunday, before the proper preface that I sing, before communion, I say, and so with all the choirs of angels and the whole host of heaven, what do we mean when we talk about these angels? Now, we're used to seeing angels in this 21st century world in which we live, at least the commercialized version of them. Some people I know collect them. I have a friend who has all kinds of fat, winged creatures with all kinds of halos and harps, and people give them to him every Christmas. Some people wear little guardian angel pins on their shoulders. I'm looking around to see if any of you have them. And all those cute little representations of cherubim and seraphim have made some people very, very rich. Others of us like to watch angels. We get our annual dose of that great guardian angel Clarence by viewing It's a Wonderful Life at Christmas time. But I want to remind you of what our vicar wrote about angels in last month's Eagle, in case you didn't have a chance to read it. He wrote, I want to chase down a rumor about angels. Humans do not become angels, full stop. In spite of countless Christmas novels, movies that say otherwise, every time the bell rings, an angel does not get its wings. Contrary to The importance of angels in the Bible is not so much the angels themselves, not what they looked like, how dazzling they were, what kind of wings they had, but rather the message that they brought. Our reading from Revelation tells of this great battle in heaven in which the forces of evil are confronted with the forces of good. And Michael is the leader of the forces of goodness and truth. He's the protector of the human race. He's the one charged with helping us be what Psalm 8 says we already are, created by God just a little lower than the angels, crowned with glory and honor, given dominion over God's creation, dominion that seeks life and truth, nurture and abundance, healing and wholeness. Mostly, though, angels are messengers. They're beings. They often come in the form of humans who are sent by God to deliver some special God brand to unsuspecting women and men. God's messengers surprise people. They come in the commonness and ordinariness of the day. Abraham was sitting by the oak trees at Mamre when 3 angels appeared to him. Gideon was working, beating out the wheat in the winepress when an angel of the Lord appeared to him. We're not quite sure what Mary was doing when the angel Gabriel appeared to her, but his message of good news has echoed down through the centuries. Hail, favored one, blessed are you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. You will bear a son, and his name will be Jesus. He will be great and will be called Son of the Most High. We might call Gabriel's message an evangel, an angel of good news. Even though it was a perplexing message for Mary to hear, it certainly contained the very best news that the human race could ever experience. And isn't that what evangelism and evangelists are all about? Do you hear that angel right in there? Joy was so impressed when I became the empress of evangelism at our ministry fair. But all of us really are empresses and emperors of evangelism.